Hey listeners, rip off Doctor Strange and release half a season, because this week we're reviewing the new Rick and Morty trailer for season 4.5?
No, it would be 3.5 or 4.0, which I guess is also just 4.
All right, now introduce ourselves.
I'm Joe.
I'm Brandon.
And I'm Toby.
The enthusiasm is palpable.
Okay, well, I had enthusiasm at the beginning, and then we had, I'm not kidding, a literal hour of technical difficulties. So, forgive me if I sound like I'm about to shoot up my workplace. Cut that. Forgive me if I sound a little bit haggard, and not at all like I'm about to shoot up my workplace.
Good save. Great save.
I won't do it, I promise.
Okay, first things first. We have not yet talked about the fact that Rick and Morty got a season renewal, which will give us up to 101 episodes of Rick and Morty. How are we feeling about this?
I have to be honest, I'm not super excited about that, because to me Rick and Morty is a show that has had such a high level of intelligent humor and hilarious stupid creativity, and like to be able to keep that up for 7 more seasons after you've made 3, it seems like an impossible task. I don't want Dan Harmon to have to work on it after he's lost the love and he feels like he has nothing more to say through the show.
Yeah.
If they can keep up the quality, I want 1 million more episodes. But
oh yeah, if they can keep up the quality, but the thing is,
it's impossible.
I don't want it to get Simpsons.
Yeah, of course.
Here's what I'm wondering. This might be the biggest renewal for any animated show ever, including for The Simpsons. I think The Simpsons just gets renewed 1 season at a time, but this is 70 episodes. This is gigantic. This is a massive 14 seasons at this rate if we keep just doing 5 episodes at a time. My thoughts here, I agree with Toby. I don't want any show ever to have this much security, this much assurance that it's going to keep going. This is 70 episodes. Do you realize like how bad the Mad Max episode was of last season? Imagine just like them just like giving up and making an entire season of that quality and still having like 40 more episodes left in their contract.
A lot of people liked it. A lot of people liked that Mad Max episode, by the way.
A lot of people like a lot of terrible things, Joseph. So, bit of news on Rick and Morty, just because I think he listens to the show, so I want to give him a shout out. Mike McMahan, who we're big fans of, has left Rick and Morty because he successfully got a workplace comedy about Star Trek red shirts called The Lower Decks.
Oh, hell yeah.
That's
I
pretty
forgot
fucking
about
awesome.
that. Yeah, Mike McMahan, if you're listening to this, you're the fucking best. We love you.
I'm just gonna call bullshit on the fact that he listens. I don't believe you. Like, if you are, great. Like, please, for the love of God, prove me wrong.
I watched him write down the name of the show. That is all I have to work on here.
And Pinky promised you that he'd watch it as he condescendingly patted you on the head.
You didn't see him toss that paper in the trash afterwards.
So, let's go to the trailer and discuss what we think this shit's about. Because we got 5 episodes. I think that, in theory, we could guess...
We're definitely going to have a Raiders of the Lost Ark episode. They've got the whole sequence of, like, walking in, like, Raiders of the Lost Ark style through, like, the booby traps and stuff. Like, we're definitely going to have that.
Yes. So something that throws a wrench in things is I am pretty sure that one of these is going to be a Morty's Mind Blowers, just based on the volume of different shit happening and the fact that there's a moment where Morty straight up turns into an actual monster. I think that's going to be part of a Morty's Mind Blowers or whatever this... Like, I don't want to call it a clip show because it's not, but it's their version of...
Yeah, it's interdimensional cable or mind blowers or whatever.
It's like when Futurama did the What If machine.
I saw Morty in a fucking Nazi, like, Iron Cross uniform.
What, for real?
In the trailer, he's wrestling with Mr. Poopy Butthole, holding a Luger, and shoots Gearhead in the head.
Oh, that! I didn't realize he was in a fucking Nazi... Oh my god, he is! Holy shit, I didn't even notice that.
So to clarify, you did not see that?
Boo.
Get out.
Boo.
I'm cutting that.
No, you're not.
No,
you were
we're not
leaving
cutting
in.
that, because fuck you for that, Brandon.
Well, then I'm going to have to record my felony as I beat him within an inch of his life.
But yeah, I agree. Just with the sheer volume of stuff here. Okay, I think we're definitely going to get...
Meeseeks takeover thing. Gearhead's going to get shot in the head. Like...
Yeah, well, you know what? Gearhead is a traitorous prick, so he deserves it.
There's things with, like, Mr. Poopy Butthole beating up a room full of students.
Oh, sorry, not Gearhead. His name is Revolio Clockberg Jr. We always forget that.
Right. That's like calling a Chinese person Asia face.
Jesus.
Yeah.
That was such a funny joke. Now, we do see a lot of things that I'm pretty sure are Morty's mind blowers. The thing where Rick gives him, like, a cream, he's like, leave the self on for 10 minutes or it won't work. Leave it on for less than 12 or I'll have to hunt down what you become.
That was really good.
Yeah, and then he turns into a fucking monster thing. So I assume that that's a mind blowers thing.
I think that might be part of the thing where, like, they're in the spaceship and Morty says, I'm dying, Rick, and Rick says, no, you're not. Dying people don't complain about how they're dying. Is that true? I don't know. I'm usually around people who die faster.
Yeah. Oh, also the spinal cord activate morphine was pretty funny. There's definitely lots of promising content in this. I'm very curious to see who this Chachi character is.
Oh, yeah, and how they go all Pulp Fiction on him.
Yeah.
That looks interesting.
One thing I'm hoping to see more of is Eye Patch Morty.
Oh, Evil Morty?
Yeah, he's the president now.
That is a good point. However, I suspect that we might not get to him for a while because they were just renewed for effectively infinite episodes. So
I don't think being renewed for 70 episodes, I mean, it's sort of like when you give a guy multiple life sentences. It's like we all know he's only going to live through one of those. Like, it's more symbolic than anything.
it sounds like you're saying that that they're only going to make it through one more season before they all die.
Well, no. What I mean to say is I think they will still have the same pressure to be good as they always have.
Of course.
Especially today in a culture where people go fucking rabid if you don't live up to their standard. And I mean, I'm not excluding myself from this.
No, you are the epitome, but...
I try.
So here's something that I need to bring up because I'm curious if you guys subscribe to this theory. Jeff Loveness, who's one of the writers on Rick and Morty, posted a picture of all the scripts that he's been involved in. These scripts are numbered 401, 406, 407, 408, and 501, which is good because that means that they're already, like, heading forward towards season 5. What I'm wondering is, do we think that Rick and Morty is going to start doing that so they can release, like, episodes more regularly?
My theory is that they're going to do that and say that that's the reasoning and that they are going to believe that that's the reasoning, but they're still going to release episodes with the same frequency.
Yeah.
It's sort of like how Valve was like, we're going to switch to episodic so you don't have to wait so many years for Half-Life 3. And still, nothing on episode 3. So...
I sense you have a lot of thoughts here.
No, like, not that this is a new observation or anything. It's not like what I'm saying is something people have never heard before. But what I mean is, I think that their plan is going to be, we release them in halves, and that way we can get them out more frequently. And in practice, it's not going to work.
Yeah, I feel like that's probably what'll happen. And I mean, for the record, like, I have absolutely no animosity over this. Like, Rick and Morty is obviously one of my favorite shows ever. In my opinion, like, if you're producing content that good, like, fucking take as long as you need.
I do need to clarify. I fucking love Rick and Morty, and I will probably keep... Like, I don't think it's going to be bad, at least not for another, like, 6 or 7 seasons. I think that I will keep watching it even after it is bad, because, still, I really like the show, I like the creators, I like the concept. So, anything that I'm saying is said with love. So, I'm going to probably be saying things like, this seems shitty or whatever, but it's all love.
The only thing that will make me stop watching the show is a half-baked cutaway gag.
No, it's a cutaway from Rick and Morty, cutaway to Family Guy. That will be what ends it.
Oh, by the way, a detail that I noticed in the trailer is when they're in the spaceship and Morty's saying, I'm dying, Rick. So at the bottom of the screen, there is a snake in a snake spacesuit.
Oh, fuck.
And with a shattered, like, helmet. I think the snake is dead and Morty got bit by a space snake. Also, the suit has space for the snake's rattle to rattle around, and I kind of love it.
That's pretty fucking funny.
Wow.
Anyway, I say we go shot by shot and just talk about what we think what the fuck's going on, okay?
I'm game.
Alright, so the first shot is like they're going into the Indiana Jones style temple. So yeah, it's definitely gonna be a bunch of Raiders of the Lost Ark jokes. But I'm really fucking excited for this. Like, I know, like, I'm excited. Alright, yeah, so we got Raiders of the Lost Ark. We've got Morty and Chachi fleeing for their lives. I'm going to assume Chachi is part of Morty's Mind Blowers episode. Then we got Morty and Rick suiting up in, like, clear plastic bulletproof shit. Alright, I feel like it's ill-advised to just go shot by shot. It's very boring to just listen to me describe a trailer.
It doesn't spell something out, at least based on the trailer, but I'm sure that the holes that are shooting darts at them spell something out. Because the pattern looks too much like letters.
Oh, I do see it. It kind of looks like letters. Meeseeks are going to overrun the fucking city. I really hope that's its own episode.
We have a couple Meeseeks shots, so I hope that we have, like, the return of the Meeseeks. So later on in the scene, the Morty that we see with all, like, the tactical gear and shit, who, like, absorbs the bully into, like, some kind of orb thing, I think that that's evil Morty. He's way too badass to be normal Morty.
I don't know. Morty's been becoming more badass by the episode.
We've discussed this before, for sure, but, like, remember the Rick that was being controlled showed our Rick the scale of the different Ricks and how Rick-like they each are. He's like, this is you and here I am 2 over. So then Morty would also be in the same boat. He would be 2 over from evil Morty. So I think that they are very similar and that the lines between Morty and evil Morty the lines are blurry anyway. We have very little established about evil Morty, but I'm fairly confident that the lines are going to blur between our Morty and evil Morty.
Not to drag up the past episodes too much, but that's exactly what I'm about to do. Do you guys remember the shot in the episode where we first learn about the Council of Ricks, and in the scene where the evil Rick was downloading the contents of Rick's brain, there was a clip of him looking at Morty as a baby, but he's never met Morty prior to a few years ago because supposedly he had been doing whatever in the multiverse for years and then only just showed up to the Smiths' doorstep like a couple years prior. So there are some theories that say that Morty that he knew from his memory when that Morty was a baby eventually became evil Morty. The whole part in the episode where he says, "Don't get too big for your loafers, Buster Brown. A cocky Morty can cause us all some real problems."
And then he's like, "What do you mean?" And he's like, "I'll tell you when you're older."
Yes. So I'm very curious to hear them explore that in more detail. But yeah. I don't know if they will this.
No, like I can barely wait the 9 years for them to explain it in season 7.
Yeah. You mean season 10?
Yes. Well, no, it would really What? I don't get why you said season 10.
Well, because the last season will be season 10 because they were renewed for 7 more after they just made 3.
Oh. Let's leave all of this in. It's comedy gold.
Yeah, 3.
I'm really hoping we get some reveal. They're gonna drag the shit out, I know, but I want some. Give me a scrap. Give me an episode 7 of last season where it's like the whole counselor. Like, I don't even need that much. I just want something.
All right, another thing to bring up. They've got some pretty cool guest stars this season. Yeah, they've got Sam Neill, who we all saw growing up in Jurassic Park.
Oh, shit. Isn't Taika Waititi in this season as well?
Yes, Taika is in 2 episodes.
Oh, hell yeah.
You people keep saying names.
Taika Waititi, who made the best of the Thor movies.
Arguably the best of the Marvel movies, too.
Also known of The Hunt for the Wilder People, What We Do in the Shadows, and his newest movie, Jojo Rabbit, about a young boy growing up in Nazi Germany who has an imaginary best friend who is Hitler.
So our Nazi count is at 3 so far. This is the 3rd time we've brought up Hitler and or Nazis.
Yeah, and Brandon, don't you dare say you did not see this coming because you fucking did.
I was going to bring up, it's okay though, because Taika Waititi is Jewish, so...
Oh, he is?
Yeah, he's Polynesian and Jewish.
There's a South African guy, because I saw a clip, and I'm just going to assume he's a big name.
Oh, you mean the app guy?
Yeah, the app guy.
That's Taika Waititi.
Oh, that's him?
He's from New Zealand. But yeah, he's half Maori, half Jewish. We also have Kathleen Turner and Paul Giamatti.
Oh, Paul Giamatti? Wow, what a wild card. That's awesome.
Yeah, I know, right?
Who's Kathleen Turner?
A huge star from the 80s and stuff. She was in Who Framed Roger Rabbit. She was the voice of Jessica Rabbit.
Oh, really?
But yeah, like, hell, like, they have great guest stars. Like, season 3 had Nathan Fillion, Christian Slater, Tony Hale, Susan Sarandon.
Yeah, not to mention Stephen Colbert and John Oliver. I mean, yeah, they... Also, do you guys know who played the fart in Morty Night Run?
Oh, Jermaine Clement.
Yes, Jermaine Clement, exactly.
Jermaine Clement is amazing. He's also of Flight of the Conchords.
Ah, yes, right.
He is absolutely hilarious. If you've ever seen Dinner for Schmucks, he plays the pretentious artist. And does an amazing job doing it. He's the type of artist who's like, he says, I want somebody to walk up to me and say, your work is bullshit. Because then I say, good, I want it to disgust you.
Yeah, whatever you say, Gaspar, no. Shout out to Gaspar, no.
I'm sure he'll appreciate a shout out from 3 completely random strangers.
No, he won't. He'll be like, oh, don't mention my name with your filth.
This is completely off the rails, but random fun fact, he has a short film called Sodomites.
I bet that's nice.
The film is a hardcore safe sex promo that was made for French TV.
All right, Brandon, we're adding that to the list. When I come to LA and we watch What Women Want.
And it stars a character called the Rectal Beast.
The fuck?
This could literally only work on French TV.
There are 4 characters.
Oh my god.
The Rectal Beast.
The Rectal Beast. Sodoma.
Whoa, wait. He has a character called the Rectal Beast, and then he needed another fucking sodomy pun? Are you kidding me?
Yes, and then there are 2 more characters. One who is called the Master, and the last person who is a spectator. Why does somebody need to be there to watch?
Is the Rectal Beast not the Master? Or is he just like...
No.
I guess not.
The Gimp?
I guess so. Why was this on French TV in 1998?
Did this ever air?
Yes! I'm watching Sodomites right now. I don't know what y'all are doing, but...
We're filming a podcast about a different show is what we're doing. Can we discuss why Morty is dressed as a Nazi?
Wait, hang on a second, Brandon. Are you watching the Gaspar Noé short film Sodomites, or are you just watching people fucking each other in the ass?
Oh, here's the full thing. Oh, yay, it's on Pornhub. Okay, allow me to restate. This is a hardcore safe sex promo. Nothing about this looks safe. What safe sex promo has something called the Rectal Beast?
Is this like a Kafka-esque thing? Is there going to be like... Does the Rectal Beast represent the cold boot of bureaucracy or something?
Why do I feel like the Rectal Beast is just a horse that Gaspar Noé brought in to actually for real fuck someone? And when like the producer called him on, he's just like, no, it is for the art.
What the fuck did I just watch? This was just a short film of a guy wearing a beast mask fucking a woman in the ass, and then it ends with the big reveal. He was wearing a condom the whole time, and everybody cheers. And that is how Gaspar Noé promotes safe sex.
All right, can we please get back to the podcast?
Okay, yes. Sorry that we focused on something as fucked up as that. Let's talk about Morty in a Nazi uniform.
Yes, I want to what the fuck is going on there? He's fighting with a Meeseeks. He's dressed as a Nazi.
And he shoots Revolvio Gearberg Jr. in the face.
It's Clockberg, you dick.
Sorry, I don't see gears.
Also, why is Gearhead hanging out with Rick? Because the last time they saw each other, Rick ripped out his testicles and put them in his mouth. Gears.
Actually, no, the last time we saw Gearhead, he was flirting with underage girls.
Oh, so are you in, like, Gear College, or...?
Which makes me a little more fine with the fact that he gets shot in the fucking face.
Okay, so you talking about asking what the hell is going on with the Nazi uniform fighting a Meeseeks while in a car. Like, I just love that this trailer I feel like Rick and Morty generally makes very good trailers because they just throw a lot of weird shit at you have no context for.
Nor do you need any.
So yeah, I don't know where I was going with this, but I like this trailer.
Wait. You stopped us. You're like, wait, I have something relevant to say.
Yeah, no, I thought it was going to a more useful place than that.
I fucking hate when my brain does that. It's like, everybody stop. I have something to say.
And then you realize halfway through, like, oh, I actually have nothing to say.
Fuck you, brain. This is why I keep you subdued with medication.
What was the last quote from this episode? It's... half the season you wanted, but all the season you can handle.
I think it was all the season.
No, all the season we could handle.
Oh, I thought it was all the season you could handle. I was about to say, that's a big promise to make.
They are fully aware. They know it takes a while to make Rick and Morty, and it's like, that's the main thing that sucks about this show, but it's fine. It's still a great show. I still love it. It's like, yeah, it's going to take them 700,000 years. I know it. They know it. They're not hiding it. They're not pretending like they're not doing it. If they were hiding it and pretending like, oh no, this is how normal shows work, then I'd be kind of upset. But...
And this is how it should be. They're making a very complicated, intensive cartoon that takes a long time to draw, a long time to write. Like, they're not just pooping out Big Bang Theory episodes. No offense, I know someone who works on that show.
You do?
Well, you know, your dad's friend is like the physics consultant.
He's like the
right?
science consultant for them. Which, honestly, good for him.
But he's not responsible for the horrible shit that they write. He's not responsible for the fact that the show is utter garbage.
Hey. Yeah.
There's going to be more cut than podcast at this point.
Oh, by a lot.
So, Maury's a Nazi, I guess. I'm going to assume that the Meeseeks are in some way altering reality. Like, maybe there were too many summoned and it's somehow warping shit, and it turned Morty into a Nazi. I don't know why, but that's what my brain tells me is happening.
I mean, wouldn't it make more sense if it was part of the Indiana Jones, the Raiders of the Lost Ark undercover episode, and you had to wear a Nazi uniform for that?
Ooh, that's actually pretty good.
They made an Akira joke, which I liked and neither of you will get.
You mean the movie, like the anime Akira?
Yeah. But how the fuck do you know that?
Because I watched it, and I honestly...
We've seen Akira, you dick.
I honestly...
Toby didn't know what a mage was. I had to explain that. How do you fucking know Akira?
Because I watched it, because I'm cultured, you dick.
You don't know anything that isn't a nutshot video.
First of all...
Yes.
Yes. That was true until I turned 24, so please...
Do you just think that we don't know what Akira is, Joseph?
Brandon, I assumed you might, but I know neither of you watch anime, so I just assumed
I actually
you wouldn't
do
know.
a little bit. I watched One Punch Man. I've watched, I was going to watch some other more obscure one that I can't remember the name of. Yeah, I got nerd cred, bitch.
How's this half of a season gonna end? Is it gonna be a cliffhanger, or are they gonna do, like, something like what they did at the end of last season?
It's gonna be Mr. Poopy Butthole saying, like, hey guys, if you wanna wait till...
Well, yeah, that is what they did literally at the end, but I mean, like, the plot point at the end.
Oh, well, it's so difficult to figure out where they're taking things now.
Yeah.
Just because they've wrapped it all up in a neat little package, and, like, everything's back to normal. So it could go anywhere. We have no real frame of reference.
There is one character who I would like to point out was, like, conspicuously absent.
Morty.
Where was Jerry?
Oh. He's in the clip with the app guy?
Yeah, that's literally the only clip I've seen of Jerry. What's up with that? Because basically the way we ended it this last season is Jerry's back. Why ain't Jerry back?
Now that you mention it, there's only one clip of Beth. Okay, so here's the thing. We might just be looking too deeply into it because they just showed the parts with Rick and Morty in them. But I see one scene with Beth, one scene with Jerry, so maybe, I don't know, maybe something happens to them. Maybe they're like, you know what, these kids suck, and so does Rick, so let's just leave and...
No, wait, hang on. There's a second moment with Jerry. Like, Jerry and Morty fall into a area, and they are surrounded by alien soldiers wearing red. It's right before the rip-off Doctor Strange thing. Like, around, 50 seconds in.
Oh, there he is. Oh, and that's the same episode because he's wearing the same clothes.
We have 2 appearances of Jerry and 1 appearance of Beth. Maybe they're just not showing it, but that's conspicuous, especially considering that the last note we ended this last season on was Rick feeling isolated from the family and feeling like Jerry, won. So I'm very curious to see where that goes. But once again, this is a teaser trailer.
I guess when I saw the end of last season, I just assumed that the whole thing about, Rick sitting there all pouty at the end, it sort of felt to me more like this is just reverting back to normal, as opposed to, setting Rick up to do something else.
I don't think he's gonna try and actively sabotage the family or anything like that. Well, no more so than usual.
Yeah, no more.
Last question for y'all.
Yes.
What's something that you want to happen this season? Independent of what we've seen, independent of, the teaser trailer and stuff, what's something that you want to happen this season?
I want a conversation between Rick and Evil Morty.
Ooh, that's a good one.
I'll second that.
Yeah, hell yeah, I'd love to see that.
Conversation, a standoff, something there.
Or even if they just, like, pass each other in the street and it's clear he's up to something. I want something like that.
Would you want it to be like Sherlock and Moriarty style, where they're both perfectly aware of the challenge they have in front of them?
Like, this will only end one of two ways, with one of us dead. And with the other one monologuing.
Honestly, I think that Evil Morty has quite the advantage because whatever he's doing, he's thought it out for a long time, and he might be smarter than Rick. I mean, he pulled one over on him, he got him mind controlled, and he was good enough to take over the entire Citadel.
Which is actually kind of insane. So we have to assume that he's at least as smart as like a typical Rick.
Has to be smarter. He just assassinated the council. He has Ricks following him.
I guess I'm just thinking of like the fact that like the Rick we've been following has like outsmarted the council at multiple steps, but I mean, presumably he's no smarter than any of them because he's also a Rick.
He's just the Rickest of Ricks.
So does that mean Evil Morty is the Mortiest Morty?
I'd say it's safe to say that C-137, Rick and Morty, which I guess they still are even if they've hopped around universes, I'd say those are the Rickest Rick and the Mortiest Morty still. But it's an interesting question. Okay, ready for the last question? The actual last question? Did either of you go and get the Szechuan sauce from McDonald's when they did the promotion?
No, it was so not worth it to me. There were people, like, fighting each other in the streets, babies thrown from windows.
Molotov cocktails.
I don't want to go out and wait in line for hours and risk getting into a fight over a sauce that I have no way of knowing whether it's good. I don't like ketchup. I don't like most sauces.
This may be the whitest thing you've ever said. Having gone and gotten the Szechuan sauce...
You got it, because I walked in and they didn't have it, and then I got up on the counter and threw a huge fit. And pulled my pants down. The police came. It was
a whole thing.
It was a
Check the
deal.
Denver news.
Attacked the poor innocent worker who's just doing his fucking job.
All because I, a Rick and Morty fan, did not get a mediocre sauce that was referenced in the show I love.
Yeah, Brandon, how was it?
It tasted like P.F. Chang's sauce. It's not...
Is that good?
No, it's not bad. It's not good. It just is.
Yeah, of course.
It was just sauce, and it wasn't that great. I personally like their honey mustard or sweet and sour sauce better.
Or the curry sauce, if you're overseas.
Okay, I need to get this off my chest. The curry sauce that McDonald's sells in Europe is the best sauce that they have, and the fact that they don't have it in the United States is a crime against humanity, and it is infuriating to me.
Do you know how offensive introducing curry at McDonald's would be to so much of America, Brandon?
I don't give a shit. If curry sauce offends you, then you deserve to be offended. The curry sauce is somehow sweet and tangy and the perfect amount of spicy, and it's delicious. You use it on fries, you use it on chicken nuggets, and it's fantastic. Rick and Morty picked the wrong sauce. There, I brought it back.
Wow, fucking bold words.
Glad we cleared the air on that, Brandon.
Yeah, no, that's a bold statement. It's like saying Sophie should have chosen the boy.
Look, I'm trying to find a way to wrap up this fucking podcast.
Thank you, McDonald's, for your sponsorship. We hope that rant was exactly what you were looking for.
That's better than what I was going to do, which was just the sound of several gunshots.
And you just edit us out for the rest of the podcast. So thank you, everybody, for tuning in to the Daily Squanch, our non-daily Rick and Morty podcast. We're very excited to be back for Season 4. I'm Brandon, and my co-hosts are...
Joe.
And Toby.
Rick and Morty starts up again on...
November the 10th. So we'll be back on... We'll probably release about a week after the release of each episode.
Thursdays or Fridays after the episodes. We'll figure it out.
What day works best for you, audience? Send in your suggestions and we'll ignore them. Bye.
All right. Thanks for tuning in. We'll see you in November.
Yeah.
Bye.
It's good to be back.
Love you.